morning, Sandy Brown and Darlene B. Good morning, Sandy Brown and Darlene B.
Okay, you guys. I literally, my husband left for work at 6 and he was going to call me. And I literally rolled over and looked at the time. I had the phone right in front of my face. And it was like 8:20 and I'm like, oh no. So that was throw on some more eyelashes and throw on a shirt and whew. Oh, let me get out of Facebook. I'm going to come out of Facebook.
You look pretty darn good.
Hey, I'm telling you, a little bit of eyeshadow and lipstick does wonders. And then my husband just now called me. So, and before he hung up, he said, tell Traci to sing to me. You guys are spoiled.
That was so sweet.
All of you guys are spoiled. And yet, Sandy, I'm still hurting, but you know what? I got moving this morning when I seen the
Good morning, Denise. Good morning to you. Good morning, Denise. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. See, you look beautiful for just crawling out of bed. I've been up since 5 o'clock and you look 10 times better.
No,
10 minutes.
You are always beautiful. And it's so funny that Casey tells me, he said, Mom, he said, Traci would fit right in as your sister. And I'm going to tell you guys, I was having weird dreams. I'm kind of glad I woke up, but you guys, all right, no fair. French roast and Colombian. Do I really drink that much more coffee than them?
Oh my goodness.
All that coffee, and look, I can't find no Colombian except, I found another one. Shake the box up and see what falls out. And, oh goodness. Let me see. Good morning, Peggy. Oh, sing to her.
Good morning to Peggy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Peggy. Good morning to you. Yay.
I guess the key to everything is jump up and get ready before you know you're hurting.
Before you think about it. Yeah. Probably.
But you know what? From my waist down, still my PJ, so I'm halfway cheating. So
that's all right.
But I did get to. All right, hush. I did get to start with prayer this time. I did it, and we had Mr. Kevin on. He called me FaceTime, and he didn't know how to hang up. Well, first he made Traci sing to him. He said, "Tell Traci sing to me."
That's so funny. That's so cute.
And he had a helper with him in the dump truck. So Traci sung to him, and I told him, I said, well, it's a good thing you couldn't hang up. I said, we're about to say prayer. And I got to pray, and he got to be part of it. So, that was a good thing. That the city workers always need prayers. Denise, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I've got to go today too, follow up for my MRI.
Oh boy.
So
which doctor is that you're going to? Your rheumatologist? Or your regular doctor?
Orthopedic.
Oh boy.
He ordered once he saw he's the one that. Good morning, John.
Good morning to John. Good morning to you. Good morning to John. Good morning to you.
John, I'll take whatever you got. You just let me know what shipping is or what you want, and I will get it to you. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning to Debbie. Good morning to you. Good morning to Debbie. Good morning to you. Feel kind of strange singing to the real singer.
All right, let me figure out how to do it. All right, John, let me.
I can do this. I can do this.
Yay.
Good.
Love you, girls.
John, I love
back.
you too. John, I enjoyed watching you go through the seashells from your childhood. I mean, that just, I enjoyed that. Just watching somebody going through and reminiscing how they used to, as a family, walk on the beach and do all that. That was so, that was such a relaxing thing to watch. It really was. Casey put prayers last night on the Porch Church Network for a family. There's a family, their son committed suicide. Casey come in there. Casey come in there last night, and I was asleep. Okay. What? Oh, okay. He has his daughters this morning, donut and Wawa coffee. But I had fallen asleep with the TV on, and of course my laptop open, and Kate, I don't know if he touched me or said something, but I jumped awake, and he was all upset, and I said, "What is wrong?" And I come in the kitchen, he just broke down. Back when, I know we all have doctor's appointments. Don't
What
apologize.
happens when we get old?
We are a community of the broken toys, and these toys have to be fixed every now and then, and that's what brings us all together. So, Peggy, as always, I'll keep you in our prayers. I have I taped up another one last night in my prayer closet. And John, that's what I do. I just take those prayer requests when it gets full, and I tape them on my wall in there. But Casey come in there and woke me up, and he was like a senior, and I think and right after he graduated, he went to the Nazarene church with this friend of his. She was really like one of my kids, and they would sing, and so he knew this boy personally, and the boy committed suicide.
Oh man,
30 years old. His dad's a preacher, and his mom played piano.
that is so sad.
I sat at the table with Casey, and we touched on that very hard subject, which I've always talked with Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, I understand the feeling that you can overwhelm feeling that you can get. I said, but I also know what it's like for the family left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've come in, I've had a brother and nephew, and so there's been times that I've had to just ground myself and know that I couldn't. Sometimes you just want to be absent from the body. You just get tired, so you have to ground and think of those that's left behind and how they feel. But I don't like to hear people say that, well, that's a very selfish thing to do. So you guys, please don't ever, like in my chat or, sometimes people say that because they don't know what else to say. But, I don't look at it as selfish. If my brother were still here, I can't even imagine. He had back surgery at 34 and he hurt so bad. And they told him, well, you just have to live with the pain. I can't imagine now because I was 30 and that's been 24 years. Oh my God. I can't imagine what he would be like now, what pain that he would be in or what his life would be. So I don't think that way.
I think that a person has to be in a horrendous amount of mental or physical pain to think that there is nothing left worth living for. That is something that needs to be taken very seriously. And there's a lot of people in the chronic pain community and in the mental health community that do take their own lives, but it's because of some type of pain. Like I said, whether it be emotional pain or physical pain, it's real pain.
And it's not, and there's some people that's alone, but not always. I mean, my brother had sat there and ate chicken with my mom that night, but he had already had everything laid out. So sometimes it's not a spur of the moment thing. Always take things serious, you guys. If somebody feels that way or they tell you they feel that way, take them serious. I know they'll call you and say that, and then you start feeling like, well, they must just want attention. No, sometimes if they reach out to you, you are the one that they want. You're the one they want to ground them. You're the one that they're calling each time to give them purpose. So, I've had that feeling about people where I said, well, I think they're just doing it for attention. But then I come back and I have to check myself. I really have to check myself. And this morning
sometimes people feel alone, and don't matter how many people they got around them. They can have a huge family and be sitting there at Thanksgiving and have 20, 30 people around them and feel so alone and so out of spot. They like they shouldn't even be there. I know, I've been there. I've been there more than once. And in fact, when I had this happen to my arm, my doctor was worried that the pain might send me back into a major depression. You didn't know that about me, but I was for 11 years extremely depressed. On the outside, I never showed it. And now you're making me tear up. And it's all your fault. I'm not tearing up on my own.
Love you.
But the pain is bad. But yet, I yesterday thought to myself, how am I going to get all this done? I've got all this to do. I've got a kid starting school. And I started talking myself down.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctor's day before yesterday. And here is a very learned cardiologist punching his keyboard with one finger. And I'm going, this man doesn't type. What is your excuse?
Yeah.
So learn to type one-handed. So that's what I'm doing. And I have to pick myself up, because no matter how many good words are out there or how many people you reach out to, if you don't take care of number one, you're not going to be taking care of anybody.
Right.
And the more people that I can help, the better I feel about me. And that sounds almost selfish, but it isn't.
I say that all the time. And people say, well, you need, if you have Jesus in your heart, you can talk to him. Yes. Yep. And guess what? I believe the people that are saved and the people that know God, I believe God is the last person that they're talking to. I know, that I really believe that if they're saved and that they're at the end of their rope, they are talking to him. And and God can intervene at any time. That person can't take
if you don't ask, he will not be there. You have to ask.
But you know, Traci has told it, you know, she has said it too about, you know, not wanting to be here sometimes. And
Oh, yeah.
I said it to the wrong person and ended up in a psychiatric hospital for 3 days.
Well,
I said
that's
it
not fun.
to a physician assistant at the pain clinic, and she had had a patient that she didn't take seriously that did end up killing themselves. So when I said it, I ended up at the psychiatric hospital for 3 days. But
maybe
I don't think I just said to her that the pain, I was trying to get across how bad I was hurting, and I said that the pain is bad enough that I'm not sure I can live with the amount of pain I'm in right now today. And she took that as a threat of suicide, and there I went. But the time that I spent there was a much needed relaxation and break and work on myself 3 days. You know, I needed
Did
it.
they help your pain?
No, it didn't help my pain, but it helped my mental self.
but Bailey, some of the stuff that I wrote in the paperwork, the law I'm looking at, I'm deconstructing as I'm talking. I did this yesterday. I did that yesterday, deconstructing.
Ow.
I was on the run with some easy beads to pop off the easy beads. You know, I got that much done. What that way? I got that many of them
Wow.
done off of a necklace, and they were coming off so easy. And then all of a sudden, I got to a wire, like a metal necklace, and I just thought I was going to pop it off, and it ripped.
Owie.
But Casey, he copied. He made a copy of one of the things I had to send to my lawyer for her to see. Oh, and he said, "Mama, they're gonna come take you away if you leave that." I said, "You know what, Casey? That is how I'm feeling today. That is the truth."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "If they come and take me away, oh well, then they must need to." And I said, "But I'm not gonna worry about it. And doggone it, I'm not gonna lower my pain, and I'm not gonna lower how I feel because." When you do that, nobody takes you serious as to how bad you are hurting. And I said, so no, because it, you know, asked, have you ever had thoughts or tried suicide? And you know, so you know what, I it's not something, I'm not ashamed of what I have done in the past or what I have thought, because you know what, for there's a reason, because there's people out there that are going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I can't, I'll be honest, I can't fathom that there would be anybody with the type of medical issues that many of us have that wouldn't have thought that at least once or twice. Whether they were serious, whether they would have ever followed through with it or not is irrelevant, but they would have felt like, why? Why do I still go on like this? You know?
And you know, my shoulder surgery, I did good with it, and you know, it's amazing how far I came with it. But
Mm-hmm.
for the same purpose, while I was laying in there with my what because I wasn't even live then, was I, Traci? That was February.
Mm-mm.
So
What did you have happen to your shoulder?
I had to have, he called it a complete rotor-rooter. They got in there. So for 4 months, I suffered with my left arm hurting because all I did was lean on my elbow in bed and leaned on my elbow, turned a certain way to reach behind me, and I heard a pop, and my arm hurt. So, and it hurt, and it hurt. I started actually holding it like a wing. I started holding it like everything, everything I would do it at this level, you know. So if I picked up my coffee, I wouldn't think about that I wasn't moving that shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Every
I want
doctor.
your T-shirt.
Oh, you didn't see. That was right. Kevin, I showed it to Kevin. Okay.
Put
Coffee.
it back on there.
Coffee. I love it.
It needs to say Jesus and coffee, but that's how my cousin, I took it practically off of her. But yeah, and so my arm kept hurting. And I told the doctors, I said, my shoulder hurts, and they sent me for a regular X-ray, and they said, well, we just show arthritis in it, so that rocked on for about 4 months. And when it come back time again for me to see my rheumatologist, well, she ordered an MRI, and you know what? The insurance said no. The insurance said that I need to do physical therapy first.
Who died and made them doctors?
That's what I ask them on a regular basis, quite frankly, to the insurance company. Do you have a medical degree?
So, I mean,
I apologize for interrupting. I would have said this. And your medical degree is from what school? And was it in the U.S.?
Well, I
would have been that rude about it.
The person that called me was actually the nurse. So, she couldn't help it. And she said, Miss Arlene, they said that you'd have to do physical therapy. I said, well, let me tell you this. I'll go to physical therapy, and the first time it hurts, I'm out of there. I am not good. I've done physical therapy to try to strengthen my back. I've done it. I went to physical therapy, and they did traction. And so finally, I went back to my primary, and I told her, I said, my shoulder still hurts. She said, well, did you have that MRI? I said, no, the insurance denied it. She said, just a minute. So she said, we'll get you set up. So I guess she set me up with the orthopedic surgeon, sent the information to him. So he ordered the MRI. And sure enough, when they got in there, Debbie, and I've been suffering for months. When they got in there, he thought it was just going to be laparoscopic. He saw a tear, and he said that's it. And when he got in there, when I woke up, he said, "Well, it wasn't just a simple tear." He said, "I always call it the wrong word, but it's an L word that your shoulder sits in." And he said he had to do a complete shoulder rework. He called it a rotor. So Wayne always picked at me about my wing. He called it my wing, and he said, "Well, how's your wing?" But he knew from the look on my face that I was very depressed. That was just from Porch Church. He could see my expression, and so he would check on me at different times of the day, and there was sometimes at night. He would just send something, and ask how I was doing. So he recognized it. But there was one day I was laying in there. I was laying in the bed, and yes, I was laying in there and thinking there was nothing I could do for myself, and I hated being in that position. Not being able to do anything, you having to do all of it. So you do get these feelings. Traci, you're not here today either. Traci, you're not feeling good, are you?
No, I'm not today.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not. I'm really hurting today, but I had an amazing, but on the light side, I had an amazing dinner last night, you guys. In 55 years of my life, I had the best food I have ever had.
Okay, so where'd you go and what'd you have?
My son works part-time because this is where his best friend works full-time. He works part-time at this 4-star restaurant in Grand Rapids called the Chop House. It's a steakhouse. He's not Jimmy. It was his birthday yesterday, so he invited me to go along with him, and he always wanted to taste the lobster bisque because so many people get it, but he's not really a seafood person, so he never wanted, the couple of times that he actually ate there, he didn't want to order it and then not like it at all. So he asked me to order that because he knows I love seafood. So I had the lobster bisque for my appetizer. He had the grilled hearts of romaine. Oh my goodness, his salad was amazing too. I tasted that. Got to taste my lobster bisque. And then I had, for my meat, they had a special on an 8-ounce filet mignon with cracked black pepper crusted goat cheese on top.
Oh,
And
that's
it was so, it melted in your mouth. It melted in your mouth. And then their sides, of course, they serve family style. So we got asparagus, and he wanted cheesy potatoes. So we got asparagus and cheesy potatoes, and then he got creme brulee cheesecake for his dessert, which I just tasted but oh my goodness, it was literally the best food I have ever eaten in my entire life. And
Phenomenal.
it was just nice conversation, and because he works there part-time, everybody knew him. People were stopping by the table. I got to meet a lot of the people that work there. It was just kind of nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
That's nice. That's so nice.
That's something different, and it's so. Your husband couldn't go.
He wouldn't go. Because it's it's not a casual restaurant. You are expected to dress appropriately when you go there. And he's like he likes to go someplace where he can just get a burger if we go out, you know. So he was just not, and it is like
It would be like
my Lanta. Like Jimmy got a discount because he works there and because it was his birthday. So we got 50% off the food portion of our bill.
Wow.
The food portion of our bill, well, our total bill, because he did get an alcoholic drink, which I don't drink, so I didn't. Our bill the original total on our bill was $180 and change.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was the absolute best food I've ever had. And I kept telling him on the way home, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that you asked me to go with you, that you took me along for your birthday. It meant the world to me, made me feel very special that he asked me. He knew his dad would not have been comfortable there, and he talked to his dad about it before he even asked me. So his dad knew that, you know, he was going to ask me and everything. So yeah, oh my gosh, it was the best.
I'm so glad.
Did he tell you, Mom, quit saying that? Because sometimes when I keep telling Casey, thank you, or I'm sorry, I asked you to do this, he'll say, Mom, will you stop?
Yeah. You know, he's like, Mom,
I'll be right back.
Celebrate my birthday and I need to take somebody along. He's like, who would I choose but the person who carried me for 9 months and gave birth to me? I was like, aw. He just was so sweet. It was such a good time. And we had such a great conversation. We talked about so many different things. And I mean, because at that kind of a restaurant, they serve everything in courses. So it takes, I mean, we were there like an hour and a half. So we had quite the conversation, and it was, so yeah, I'm hurting today, but oh my gosh, last night was worth every minute of it. Every bit of it. I'm gonna suffer from doing that, but we had to walk ways because downtown Grand Rapids is like any major downtown area. The parking is very slim, so we have to park a little bit away. we had to walk about a block and a half, which for me is a ways, and he wanted to drop me off at the door, but I wouldn't let him. And then to sit in their chairs for an hour and a half while we were having dinner and, you know, the whole thing. But it was worth every minute. It was worth every minute. I just had the best time with my baby. It's like, it would be like you and Casey going somewhere like that. You would have the best time.
Yeah, and I was going to say that Casey, when Casey was working, that would be something regular. You know, he would just say, he'd say, "Mom, let's take a Starbucks ride." And so we would go. It is probably 15 minutes, you know, down to Auburn. So we would ride down there, do the right drive-through. Now, sometimes during the day, like it was during the day, Keegan was working. Sometimes we'd just go in, you know, and I'd get something, and then we'd both get our coffee and just sit there and have a good time. So I've been blessed to get to do that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and even now, if we do what we call a coffee run to Ollie's, which isn't nothing to most people, but that's that same ride, and I love it. He turns on that gospel music, and we just sing. I think I put a video. Didn't I put a video out there? I think it's on Facebook. I don't know if I uploaded it here or on Facebook, but MawMaw's in the front seat, and I would have I videotaped it. I videoed it with my phone, and it was just like the wind blowing and the you know, we had the wind and the praise music on, and you know, it was just, we do that.
Sometimes some of the best company in the world are, you know, the things that, you know, like you don't always have a chance. You don't always take the time to sit down and have a conversation with your kids when they're grown like that. They've got things they're doing. He's running in, dropping Brantley off, stopping back, asking how Brantley did, talking about Brantley. But to have just a grown up adult to adult conversation was just really nice.
And you know, that's why I never take it, you know, for granted of when Casey does Porch Church, because when he started reading the Bible, for the both of us, it was so much for me. I mean, God really, because when that started, I was in such a depression that I'm not ashamed to say, you know, I looking down at like having to refill my meds for the week, you know, looking down at all this, you know, all this medicine, you know, I call it niggling. The devil he'll jump on your shoulder, and he knows what it, you know, I've never been into drugs. I've never been an alcoholic. So I don't know what it's like for somebody to see it on TV or hear, you know, a pill bottle shake and it hits you. But see, I have other things that affect me.
Right.
And me sitting there looking at all that medicine and thinking, you know, go to sleep.
I get to grab that basket down every Sunday. Every Sunday evening I fill my pills for the week. And I grab that basket down and I start filling my pills, and I look at how much medication I take every day, and it's like, oh my gosh, I should be like 155.
Yeah. And that's the reason that Casey has been an advocate for medicinal marijuana. He says, Mom, it doesn't even have to be, he said, it doesn't even have to be recreational. He said, I want you to be able to stop most of your medication. And you know, I really could. I said, heck yeah. I stopped all but I would probably still have to take the nerve medication for neuropathy, but I don't know. I would still have to take Plaquenil because with RA it does affect your I could end up having a heart attack because of inflammation. So, but the other stuff that I take at night, I would eat a brownie. I get a sweet tooth sometimes at night, so if I could eat a brownie and not be in the law at bedtime, then that's what I do. And and no, I have to see Casey suffer with other things, and we lean on each other. And he, he was gonna he started a job, and the management was a joke. But I told him, and then he was going to go to another the company, and he's still looking into it. And I said, well, son, we never know why you got turned down. I said, you never know. And then the thing with my back, and I said, I feel bad, Casey, that
I'm gonna sing to Donatella. Good morning, Donatella. Good morning to you. Good morning, Donatella. Good morning to you. Good morning, Donatella. Welcome.
Good morning. So I told him, I said, well, I hate to, make it sound like this, son. I said, but I don't know what I might need help with.
Right.
And I said, but I want to get better so you can get your job, because I'm tired of holding him back, and he does need a job. He needs a job to, he needs insurance, and he needs stuff like that, and he can't do it.
He needs to have a little bit of self-worth that he feels like he's contributing, even though he's contributing more than he'll ever know by being there to help take care of you and MawMaw,
Yeah. I mean, he is doing what a caregiver would get paid for. Really,
good morning, the truth. Good morning to you. Good morning, the truth. Good morning to you.
Oh, I got my Jesus shirt on. The truth. There's coffee
and Jesus.
I wish there she goes, pulling her clothes off again.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm going to go fill my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. I can still hear you, but I'll be right back.
That made me think of that song, Fill My Cup, Lord.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, my sister's downsizing, and my sister in Florida. And she says she cannot do it without getting sidetracked. So she showed on Facebook several pictures. She came across her Elvis collection, and I don't know if those are some that came from, because I remember some of those. So I don't know if those are from she bought or they're from when we were kids. But oh my gosh, it was the gospel ones of Elvis.
Oh.
And then there was the albums, one album that he did from Hawaii. And I remember that. And so no wonder she got sidetracked. And Conway Twitty.
Oh, yeah.
That song, I Was Country, when country wasn't cool.
Country wasn't cool, yep.
Sandra.
Country, when country wasn't cool.
I mean, she was a senior. It was 80. And what senior in the 1980 goes to a Conway Twitty concert and excited about it? She saw him so many times. She saw him one time with Loretta Lynn. And I'm trying to think, Loretta Lynn or Dolly Parton. But I think him and Loretta Lynn did a lot of touring.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
did. They did.
so yeah, when I saw that, that brought back memories, of me and her. Of she's always been not a follower. She has always just been herself, and she still looks like she did in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, Sandra, you don't ever age. I said, you just never age.
And Tammy Wynette, Darlene B says.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have got to try
Didn't Conway Twitty sing with one of the girls a duet about Mississippi River can't keep us apart?
Yeah, and
Sing that.
I think that was with Loretta Lynn.
Yep.
Debbie, was that with? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Too much love in this Louisiana heart. Too much love in.
Yeah, I loved it. I figured out, you guys. Oh, George Jones. George Jones. Darlene B says George Jones sung that.
I love George Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I like all kinds of music, but I can't hardly ever remember who sang what, when, it just gets all jumbled up in my foggy
I
brain.
know, because we don't have Derek on anymore. I mean, not on today.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow is Hat Day, so Casey's going to let me come in his room and pull everything up in there, because that way I can have a full panel. Because as long as it's just like 3 people,
Mm-hmm.
I can. Everything is clear, I can. But so anyway, he said yes, I can come in there in the morning.
Very nice.
And do Hat Day. I said, well, good.
Very nice.
And you guys, according to what the doctor tells me, I know a lot of people say think about it, but if he tells me
praying my knees off today.
You're what?
I'll be praying my knees off today, praying for you.
Well, I'll tell you.
Now, what's he going to tell you? Because I'm always behind a curve.
Well, from what the regular X-ray in his office showed, number one, it showed 2 discs that are absolutely touching.
Oh yeah,
touching on two different sides, because he said, he pointed, he said, see this curve right here? He said, that is scoliosis now in your lower back.
Oh boy.
And he said, so that's how it is pinching on 2 different sides. And he said, I'll get an MRI, but I already know that you have bulging disc. And he said, it is it's hitting on those nerves. So if he says they're going to have to open me up and do something, I'll tell them how soon. I mean, do I enjoy surgery? No.
Nope.
But I've had enough to know that if that's what he says, just like he got in there on my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
And he found that it was worse. So
Mm-hmm.
I know good and well he went to order the MRI. I told Casey, I said, I guess my thoughts is, oh my gosh, they're going to do an MRI and say that there's nothing wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the hurting is in my head. So I've had doctors make me think that.
Oh.
So, but I really think that he wouldn't have ordered an MRI if he thought there wasn't something there.
Right. Good morning to Tommy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Tommy. Good morning to you.
I saw in
morning,
chat a
my
minute ago that
Raphael.
Darlene B said, hey. So, hey, Darlene B. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Hey, my son-in-law, love him.
Israel.
Yes, and it's so weird because I don't. The reason I keep looking down is it's such a delay, in what comes up in front of me and what comes up live. So yeah, all these doctor reports and all this fighting that I've had to do, you
Yeah,
have
for Social Security and yeah.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with you, and then you get to feeling like, well, maybe it's in my
Nothing's
head.
wrong with me. Yeah.
You second guess yourself when you know how bad you hurt.
Mhm. Yeah, but you know that we know our own bodies better than any
Exactly.
doctor can tell us that
I would still be in the hospital if I hadn't fought 6 stupid doctors. I'm not saying they're stupid. They just didn't know me.
Right.
They know generalities, but they don't know specifics, nor do they care to learn them. There's too much for them to do at one time.
Well, like Destiny's talked about before that she had different symptoms and for years, and they
never caught it.
And it was caused from her spleen wasn't working. So we know when we don't feel right, but then you have people that get on disability and stuff like that. They just get on it and they don't need it, so it hurts the other people. It hurts.
Right. Because there are real drug seekers out there.
Yep.
They tend to lump us all in that category when we're not.
And Tracy, you do this and you do what you do, and Debbie's come on, and hey, she's come on from the hospital. But yeah, this morning I threw on makeup, and if somebody looked, they'd think, well, nothing's wrong with her. Well, she's sitting in that chair for such and such a time. Well, I get up sometimes and I stretch my legs because I have to, yesterday.
And I don't have no makeup on because I don't care today.
I don't generally. I did put on makeup and stuff last night to go out with Jimmy, and of course, as soon as I got home, that's what the first thing I did is wash my face because since I haven't worked in so long now, I just don't typically wear makeup anymore, and I used to wear it every day for work.
And what's funny is I didn't start back wearing it until I started this, but heck, I didn't even start this out wearing makeup. Started doing this in my PJs right here where I'm sitting now. No makeup, just tired. I don't know. It gave me
confidence.
Yeah,
it gave you confidence.
It makes me happy. It makes me get up and put my eyes on. And now yesterday's makeup was already on, so all I had to do was a little bit touch up.
We're not all perfect. We never claim to be.
Heck, Tom, there's been so many that have seen me. Well, heck, I've even come on.
You did a show from your bed one time.
Yeah. Yep. Laying right in bed. So, and if that's what I have to do, if I have to have surgery, I'll probably do like you guys and tell Casey, well, you have to do a video and upload it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I do it all outpatient. I don't even know what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
But
please send me a message in Messenger today. See, Donatella said she hadn't worn makeup in years until she started with YouTube recently. And Donatella, you are a beautiful woman, and I'm sure
Donatella has a classic beauty.
Now
stop worrying about how you look, girl. You're pretty no matter what.
It's yeah, Donatella, it's just as a kid, I used to love to play with makeup.
Mhm.
So it's just feels good to put on red
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah.
You can do that. I cannot do that. I look like a clown when I put on red lips. I tried twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
I call it Princess Casserole red. When I wear red lipstick, that's what I called it. Princess Carla. Carla does red lipstick real
Yep.
well. But since I re-dyed my hair, Donatella, I had to do the shades of purple almost because, you know, I did my hair a dark purplish color. So, and that's another
wait.
thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know. I'll stand in Walmart looking at the hair color and think, ooh, let me see. Go regular, go darker, do this, do that.
I can't hear you, Kellen. Come over here.
Casey did that
Today.
for me one time. He wanted the ombre effect. And so I got 2 different hair dyes. And
that's why I stopped, Donatello. I got tired of doing it, so I just stopped, and now this is what I got.
Donatello, my hair is blonde.
My hair's the same color as yours, Tracy, but I couldn't handle it, so it made me unhappy. So I went happy again, and I get to be happy next week.
It's whatever it is, whatever.
You look great.
Thank
It goes really well with your skin color and everything. For me, it made me look. If I ever went, in fact, I'll show you a picture soon. I'll remember to put it on so I can pull it up. I was so totally gray that I looked 25 years older than what I am right now. And when I did my hair dark and no makeup, just did my hair, went into the grocery store, none of the girls recognized me that know me. And they go, oh my gosh. And I, what's the matter? She goes, I didn't recognize you. You look younger. And then they, oops, I shouldn't have said that, you know. And I said, no, please tell me the truth. Don't hold back, you know.
Yeah. I dyed my hair from the time I was a teenager until about 2 to 3 years ago. I finally stopped dyeing it. It was long, and I cut it, and I had let it grow out some of the gray before I cut it, and I just cut it all off and then let the rest of the gray finish growing out.
See, when Casey saw your picture on Facebook, like your you with dark hair, he says, Mom, Tracy's hair looks good as it is. He said, I would have thought she would have had darker hair. Because he sees my sisters, which kept their blonde hair, gradually get the color you've got. Well, one of them finally, little by little, let hers go to your color, Tracy, and it matches your face. But yeah, Donatella, mine is a personality thing because I was fine with when I was working. I had my hair was shorter than Tracy's and it was blonde. And that was fine. One time I put pink in it for the cancer thing. I did it pink. But when I hit 50, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to take it back to the red like I did in the 30s. And when I was in my 30s, I was red. And I've always had red in my hair, even when I was a kid. I was a kind of strawberry blonde, and it would get lighter during the summer. But the people at work, I wore an auburn long wig for it was one Halloween. Well, whatever we had a week of dress up. I did Gematella. I mean, I found a biker. I found a leather vest, and I
Did you have fishnets on in that picture?
Huh?
Didn't you have fishnets on in that picture?
I probably did in that one too, but that was one you're thinking of is when I did the. I was dressed up for as the ugly sweater Christmas, and I wore the Christmas tree skirt. Yeah. Yeah, I did that too. So I dressed up and I had my daughter's wig, which is red, and it was real long because somebody straightened it. I walked in there, nobody knew who the redhead was, and everybody was getting somebody else to go to see who it was, and it was me. So I'm like, you know what? I think I am about to throw the red back on my hair. And I started that, and I started letting it grow back out. So it is a personality thing, Donatella, because I'll be standing. It's not nothing I take lightly. I'll be the one standing looking at the hair dye, and I'll be looking, and I'll look at one color, then another, one color and another. And it's so funny because the young people are buying the color to look like your hair, Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
Gray is a very, very in color right now, but I just can't pull it off.
They're the what we used to call the old lady colors, though. The lavender, the pink, the platinum. But
that would be fun. Maybe if I get my 1,000 in October, I'll just do my hair a bright hot pink.
There you go.
Oh.
Is that a good idea?
Yes.
Why not?
And to Jennifer and Raven too. Good morning to Jennifer and Raven too. I think it would be awesome, Debbie.
Okay, you got it. Did you hear what Debbie just said? If she gets her 1,000,
she's gonna dye her hair pink.
Pink in October. It has to be by October. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yep.
It will be hot pink.
They have it out there. They have
the
it
same
out
color
there.
pink y'all got on the thingy there. Pink. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it for real.
Yeah.
And
then I'll shave my head and wear a wig for a month afterwards.
No, you won't.
You will not.
Oh, don't ever say that.
Well, I don't. I told the girls at work. I said when I dyed it red, and they oh my gosh, I can't believe. But I said, just wait. If I'm still here when I get 60, I said, I might have old lady purple or lavender or the pink. I said, so we'll see. But
my mama used to always say, you can't wear purple. Purple's for old ladies. And then I remember reading that poem, when I get old, I shall wear purple. And to this day, I keep saying, I'm going to wear purple. And I don't have anything purple, but I will have.
Mm-hmm.
If I do my hair pink, everything will be purple. I got to match,
Well, yeah. You got to look good.
So we got to get Debbie to 1,000 so she can dye her hair pink.
Shocking pink.
Whatever pink we decide on is fine with me. The kind where it's neon, you'll see my head coming before the rest of me. And I'll have my hairdresser do it because she does such a phenomenal job with color. That woman, she is amazing. She's been a hairdresser for over 30 years, but she's also a real estate broker. She makes more money doing hair, and she gives all seniors discounts. I pay $8 for a freaking cut when I go in there, and I pay $55 for color. It don't matter what she has to do. She loves me that much.
That's awesome.
That is awesome because color.
Jennifer wants purple hair, and Raven said she shaved her head.
I want to do pink for October because I have a stepdaughter that passed from breast cancer, and I have a I don't know how do you use that? That would be hard. Okay, my husband's wife, who I did not know, who passed away before I met him, died of lung cancer, and then it had metastasized to her brain. So she died of brain cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm all for supporting cancer. So this would be a good thing to do, and it would help me get to my 1,000. So if everybody gives me thumbs up and lets me know where they're at, when I get to 1,000, that person will get to watch me live go hot pink.
I'm telling you.
Awesome.
I would do it.
I might go hot pink with you.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Raven, Raven says she shaved her head 2 years ago, and it was great freedom. Do you know, I had mine. There's been a couple of times in my life that I just went so short, but I had a friend of mine that would cut all the way around, shaved my head. With the, I was doing going in the army as a dude, and I would have just some on the top, and that would feel so good sometimes to just not have no hair. And
And not have a responsibility
short.
or a feel you had a responsibility to do anything with it, you know?
Mhm.
What are they going to do? Laugh at you? So what? And who cares? You know, I'm strong enough for that. In fact, I'm strong enough to say, I don't have a disease, little girl. I just did this because it was fun.
well, do you know, we had at work people that shaved their head for breast cancer. Women shaved their head. A friend of mine had not had, her hair was as long as mine. Well, she's my cousin, and had not had a haircut. She donated hers to Locks Club. So that's what they were doing. And I just happened to go to the girl that cut my hair, and she got to talking so much. She talks as much as me, but you got to realize she's got trimmers, and you know she's talking and talking.
Before you knew it.
I mean, luckily it was at the time everybody had their head shaved. That was kind of shorter than I really wanted, and I'm like, Casey was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, I know." And what Kevin was like, "Oh my gosh," and I said, "I know, Kevin, but it'll grow back because he loves short hair." But I'm talking, you guys, it might have been a half an inch on top, you
Oh,
guys.
my Lord.
You know what I did? I just gelled it to make that little bit stand up.
Mhm.
And I went on into work, and it was what it was. So I said, hair can grow back.
I say that all the time. When they cut my hair and I say, just cut it real short, you know, and they are like, are you sure? And I'm like, you know what? When I went in and got it all cut off the first time recently, I'm like, I want it all cut off. So of course she cut some. And I'm like, no, shorter.
I know.
And I'm like, it's hair. It will grow. It's not going to, you know, be permanent. You're cutting it. It'll grow. You can't do it too short because it's going to grow back in another month. It'll be grown out.
My hair was still short. It was not even shoulder length when I came out of work. So it maybe about shoulder length, and I was still getting it kind of trimmed up. And then a year or two ago, I went and had it trimmed and had them. What I did, I wanted the different colors in it. You know how everybody was doing the purples and those different
They were
colors?
chalking their hair. It's called chalking.
So I went in, and she said, well, the best thing to do is go ahead and dye your hair, you know, because this was for the school, technical school. She said, go ahead and dye your hair and come in the next day, and then we'll do, so then they do the streaks in it. And I did not know what color it was going to come out to be. And the girls, bless their heart, one of them got so nervous. Now, my hair wasn't this long. It was maybe about that length, and the woman cut more of it off. But anyway, the girls got nervous, and one called the other over there as it was being foiled. I've never had my hair foiled. And then she called the teacher over there. The teacher said, well, add some more, you know. And then when they were like looking at it, I saw the fear. I said, look, don't worry. It's only hair. Bye, Donatella. Get back to work.
Have a good day, Donatella.
Hi, sweetie.
And so anyway, I told them, don't worry about it. It's only hair. It doesn't matter if it's pink, green. I said, if it's green, I'll rock the green, girls. So when they finished and they washed it out, all of the girls were so excited. I called it my crayon hair, and I have it on Facebook. It came out some places was like a burnt orange color. I mean, it's just hard to describe. I'll reshare it today on Facebook, but I loved it. it was just some chunky different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls was excited. They took pictures that the woman did so she could show the girls. But I haven't had a hair trim in a while, and I need one. But let me see. Let me see something. Since we're talking about our vanity and stuff, and Jennifer, L'Oreal in the box. I don't know if you do your own hair or if somebody does your hair for you. But I've only dyed my own hair. But L'Oreal has some beautiful colors, and this one is deep. Oh, what is it? The color. What is the name of the crayon when you have the reddish purple part, or you have the reddish blue part?
Burgundy or maroon.
No, crayon. Violet. The violet color. You have red violet
Mm-hmm.
or blue violet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's that way. So they have one that is more reddish, one that is more purple. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful color, Jennifer. And mine really doesn't fade. My hair, see, that part hadn't faded. My hair just grows so fast that it starts from the roots being very bright. So I really did think, I told Casey, I said I could start going lighter and work my way back to my natural color. I said I could do that and keep going lighter. And if we had our pool, that would sure enough, that would have took all the color out day by day.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to throw some wisdom out here. I'm going to read it. I don't have wisdom on my own.
Oh, whatever.
So, but I'm going to wait until my coffee maker shuts up. I love this little book. I tore the pages out. The Loving Heart. I love it. Inspiration Thoughts for Women. My sister gave it to me to pass on, but what I do sometimes I pull the pages out and send it with people. And I told Casey, I said, I've got to get back to my my creativity and doing my God jars and stuff. So the jar yesterday was flat full, this jar, and I've got it down to this much at least. Deconstructing and real beautiful. Let me show you these while my coffee maker's acting crazy. This green color is, well, it's not going to.
Oh, that's pretty.
The cat's eye. Look. Oh,
you can see some color. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
green.
a gorgeous necklace.
Well, I'm tearing it up. Oh, there you can see the.
Yeah.
It's almost like a tiger's eye.
Yeah, yeah, but it was so old, green, and rusted. But I'll use them. Anybody that's ever gotten a God jar knows that there's going to be something in there. And then I want another thing I'm going to do when I get my blessing, I call it, get my blessing, and I'll have a setup in so rude. I don't know. Look, I did not realize how loud it was, but this one echoes.
It doesn't really bother us, Darlene.
It must just bother me. I never realized it was loud and once I did, oh, here's another one. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it is beautiful.
Close up.
All right. I cannot wait. I think it's like a choker. I cannot wait to wash this.
Ooh.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. I like that. So pretty. That looks like it can have silver in it, girl.
I don't know. It's just one of those wire. I guess it's yeah. But I'm thinking about making me maybe a hair. No, I was going to say hairband, but no, this wire would tangle. I don't know, but it was so beautiful. So, and that's from Junk Jars, you guys. That's why I love the throwback, everything throwback. I find beauty in the throwback stuff. Oh, this one too. This one's fun and funky. Look how cute.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I like that too.
Isn't that beautiful?
Fun.
The colors, and it just looks like it's just fun. It's broken, but the colors are beautiful.
You just said something interesting. Think about
Good
this. That is a
morning.
piece of, go ahead, go ahead.
Good morning to Geanna. Good morning to you. Good morning to Geanna. Good morning to you.
You said that that's a broken piece, right?
Yep.
But look at how beautiful it is. Is there not some sort of an analogy there?
I know.
Exactly.
And you guys,
Anything that's broken does not mean it's not beautiful.
Exactly.
and that is how I look at people that God puts in my life. That some people might see one thing, but I see another. And let me see if so the yellow. Yeah. See the yellow.
Oh, that's pretty too.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how the light reflects with that. That is gorgeous.
I know. And it's just I loved everything colorful like that. And Geanna's the same way. Geanna's very artistic too, you guys. My girl right there. I love my girl. Oh, okay. Now, since we're talking about beauty, I'll be able to read this. And I might have read this before. A woman.
I'm listening, but I'm getting coffee, so go ahead.
Okay. A woman's beauty is so much more than what is seen with our eyes. It is her inner life, the radiating warmth of the Spirit's fire, the sweet fragrance of the Father's joy, the profound quietness of a heart that trusts Jesus. And that is from Gwen Falconberry. And then the scripture is, I'll put it down here, Psalms 86:15. Hey, go ahead.
Good morning to Destiny. Good morning to you. Good morning to Destiny. Good morning to you. Did you see that Geanna said to make room because she's probably about to load you up again?
I'm telling you, you guys, that chick gives me more clothes, and that's why my favorite jeans are my Geanna jeans. My Geanna, I call my Geanna jeans, and the Good Vibe shirt came from Geanna. I got so excited one day that I had on a dress, and I said, thanks to Geanna. And I'm like, Casey said, no, Mom, April gave you that one. I said, oh, yeah, April did. All right. The scripture says, but you, Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abundant in faithful love and truth. And that's Psalms 86:15. And that's on that same.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't have to be a paintbrush or put on paper kind of artist to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
There's people, well, he gets it all the way around. Not only can he sing, he can pretty much play any instrument he picks up by ear, and he can poetry or putting his words down like the one he did for on Tuesday.
Tuesday, that was beautiful.
Yeah, and I did not know that the very thing that I had read in here or was talking about is what he was doing in his art.
Mm-hmm.
He had already written it down, and I said, well, God brings things all the way around.
Yep.
Geanna says her car is smaller this time, so she won't be able to pack much. You guys, Geanna is she's my gypsy, and I say it all the time. Geanna, you don't need a car. You need a small bus that you can convert. I mean, really, Geanna already, she's minimalist. I have to say that slow because I don't talk like Casey. She's minimalist. So Geanna doesn't require a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be one of the people, Geanna, that they talk about the tiny houses, the people that live in the real small houses. Geanna could do it. She could do it. And probably feel much better that, huh?
She said YouTube keeps kicking her out. So she missed what you said. I'm going to live in my car at this point. She wants you to get a bus, a small bus, and convert it and have like a tiny house, Geanna.
Yeah. Because, hey, you can still get on your internet in the Walmart, in the McDonald's parking lot. You can go in McDonald's, have your coffee and your laptop, and work all you want.
Mm-hmm.
What? Look, I'm sorry. I cleaned up. She shredded. Casey gave her a duvet that he had. Gave my dog one, and it was tore in one place, so he gave it to her, and I kept it under the table, and she's been shredding it and laying on it, and I got it up out of the floor yesterday. I mean, you could do your own. Well, you could change your identity, Geanna, and do a YouTube channel of what it's like to live in your car. And I bet there's already people that do that put it on YouTube. Well, Tiffany, something happened, and Tiffany, Eat Sleep Amazon, she had to try to do hers from her car, and she was in, I think, the Walmart parking lot.
She said, I'm changing my name. I priced it already.
Well, Casey changed his. It doesn't take a whole lot to change your name, as long as they just check and make sure that you're not changing it because you are a felon or something.
Running from the law.
Darlene, yes, Traci is in much pain.
I'm kind of hurting today, but I'm trying to hang in there.
Well, and Traci, we're going to have something for you. I got to make sure I got your address. I'm pretty sure I have your. I need you to email or message me again your home address.
My home address.
Okay.
I can do that.
Oh, Geanna, you just tell too much sometimes.
I just love her, though. I just love that she's just an honest, straight up person. That's what I love about her.
She is, you guys, and she tells it like it is. But when you live in a good old boy town, hey, my love.
Good morning.
Good morning, Destiny.
We had the gas company here, so Mr. Pickles isn't happy this morning, so I do apologize.
That's all right.
You better behave back there. We're going to send you to bird school.
All right, Mr. Pickles.
I'll send him.
That will help him.
Good morning, Mr. Pickles. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mr. Pickles. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ruby. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ruby. Good morning to you.
Say hi, Boo. Good morning, Rubies.
Hi, Ruby.
She started squawking and squawking. I had the microphone off, and then the dog started crying because she was squawking, and I didn't figure out why she was squawking. Now I know she heard Ruby, heard Pickles. So see how that goes? That's amazing. How you doing, Destiny?
I'm just going to put it in, Darlene, I'm going to put it in the Christian Womanhood stream because I trust everybody that's on there.
What's your address, your home address?
On the Christian Womanhood instant message.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I thought.
I know.
No, not
My word drop.
So I know he's doing interviews, so we can talk about it. And I had forgot about it until Destiny came on. You guys, I don't know if any of you know, Todd was swatted. Do you guys know what that term means?
Say again.
Todd.
Todd was.
That is so sweet and loving.
Yeah.
Somebody was on his stream, what, day before yesterday, Destiny?
Yeah, so there's more stuff coming out about it. Tommy actually woke me up this morning to the actual call that was released.
Yeah.
And it's, they think now that somebody had got his IP address somehow.
Oh, no.
And yeah, and that's why it happened. But I don't know. I mean, the whole situation is crazy.
I don't know what happened. I'm always behind.
Okay, so 2 days ago, Todd had done a live in the afternoon, and he
run to the mail. He said he's just running to the mail to drop mail.
He ran to the post office, came back. When he was on his way back, he saw SWAT and a bunch of police officers wind up at the end of the drive or the road, his road. And they were preparing for something, and Todd's like, oh, something big is going to happen, you know, never thinking that it was going to be him. And he gets home, he like hurries home, and he goes and tells his daughter, you know, something big's happening, you know, kind of explains a little bit. He runs downstairs to grab his phone. His wife calls him, says the cops are on the way to his house because something about a gun and this and that. I mean, you can watch all the interviews.
Ruby, quiet.
Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Okay, I know why he's freaking out. I forgot to do his mixture thing. Hold on, Mr. Pickles.
Ooh, Pat Dees is on.
What's that?
I'm going to sing to Pat really quick.
Okay, yeah, that gives me...
Good morning, Pat Dees. Good morning to you. Good morning, Pat Dees. Good morning to you.
Morning, Pat.
Oh, Pat. I love you, Pat.
I love Pat too. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So Pat has, I did not realize what all Pat had done until he did the interview. And I watched the interview. You are amazing, Pat D.
Yes, he is.
You have layers. You're like an onion now. You're like my dairy. You're like an onion. You have those layers. Layers upon layers.
Mm-hmm.
I like your layers, mister.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was freaked out that he had a 30-year-old son. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought he was in his 20s. Yes.
You guys are going to make me feel old today. Just keep pushing it. It's okay. I don't mind. Hey, Pat, the new deal is the minute I get 1,000 subscribers, y'all, the minute I get 1,000 subscribers, if I can do it before October 1, I'm going to go hot pink hair.
That's right.
For October.
Hot pink for October. So everybody get me subscribers, please. And I'm going to be hot pink in October for breast cancer.
All right. Now, Destiny, finish the story about Todd.
Yes, please.
Okay, so pretty much what happened was somebody got a hold of his information, and they called 911 and claimed that there was a hostage and stuff like that, and gave
He
his
got swatted.
He got swatted.
Yeah.
False call. And then, watching the interview this morning with the police officers, they said it started not making sense the more that they listened to it. I mean, they gave the same town that he lives in, that Todd lives in, but they said Manhattan. It wasn't even the state he lived in. It was very bizarre. I heard it this morning and I had to keep playing it over and over. And I'm like, I don't know. They had like a mixture of a Texas and New Jersey accent type thing to me. That's how the accent was. It was like they were trying to talk normal, non-accent to every other word was, you could tell there was an accent there. It was really bizarre. And so, we need to protect ourselves very closely when we're on YouTube, when we're selling on eBay. Tommy and I are getting a P.O. box, and he has removed our address and everything from everything that he possibly can. And because Tommy, I love my hubby, but he's a very straightforward, blunt person, and he knows he's going to do, some stirring in the pot of YouTube, but like, I don't know. It's very bizarre because they like knew information that Todd had been saying on his live stream that was in the 911 call. And so not many people outside of that video would have known some of the details that were going on. So I think, honestly, it was somebody on eBay. I think it was a troll on eBay or on YouTube.
But
There was somebody that was after Todd, but still that SWAT thing is going around. I've been watching where kids have been getting it,
Yeah, there's a YouTuber, a gaming YouTuber. He's very, very popular. He was just swatted. A lot of celebrities have been swatted. There's been many deaths because of swatting. And Tommy said he was reading an article this morning where a little girl was killed because of somebody doing that. A little girl. One guy I was reading about, he was at home with his mom and a couple friends, and they were over visiting, and it was a dispute over a video game.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy that called it in actually used to live in the house. And because there was a disagreement between these two guys, the one guy actually called somebody in Ohio, and the guy from Ohio is the one that called the swatting in. So the guy that died. I mean, all he did was he answered the door, walked outside, and they told him to put his hands up, and he was all sorts of confused and got shot because they thought he was reaching for a gun.
Yeah.
And he had no weapons. I mean, it's getting out of hand. It's ridiculous. And, we have to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And we can't allow this to keep happening.
Tracy, sing to Matt.
Good morning to Matt. Good morning to you. Good morning to Matt. Good morning to you.
Welcome back, Matt.
That is just crazy that people.
Well, what I've said. I said, the devil would take what's being good and try to turn it around and make people afraid to go live.
Right.
How is Todd doing? Is he okay?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He's doing the best he can at this time.
I think he scared his little girl, didn't it? Scare? I mean, he really thought he was going to die in front of his little girl.
Yeah, his little girl is strong. Him and his wife have done an amazing job with her. He did, give her heads up beforehand, so I think that if his wife wouldn't have gotten the call and been able to call him, I think it would have been a whole different situation. Yeah. But because of how amazing and his wife are with their little girl, I mean, she's doing really good. And I'm so happy that nothing bad happened, because Todd is an amazing, loving, caring, he wouldn't hurt anybody. He has always got a positive message.
Destiny,
good morning to Geanna. Good morning to you. Good morning to Geanna. Good morning to you. Read what she wrote. Can you see her in the chat?
She said, Keelam Kisses says, right, that's Geanna?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She says, I am a little shaken about this happening to Todd. We had a young man killed by police due to being swatted. That young man is from the city I live in. You know, and that's
crazy.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything about swatting. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it doesn't happen, because that's what a lot of
really serious stuff, though.
It is. It's very serious. And now the situation is going to be, from what I was understanding from the police officer, they're going to be doing training on this.
Yeah, well, you think?
They're going to
start. You know, this is something that should have been trained a long time ago. But besides that, all you can do is comply. If they don't know, like, for example, I've got a wrist brace on. Chances are, if they came into this house, they'd grab me by that wrist brace, because they know that's a vulnerable spot. They don't know how much more damage they could do or what I have.
Right.
Yeah, we have arms in our home. I always will, always have, and never will be without. But the point is, you know, go ahead, kick in my door. Know that if you're wrong, you're replacing the sucker, not me. And if I have to, I'll go after it in every way I know how. People don't understand the power they have in the media if they choose to speak out and get to the right media group. I do that. I used to do that for a living. I know how to get through. So the point is that I'm so sorry for Todd, because there is more to this. Now you got me on my damn soap opera box here. There's more to this. $1.50 now. I got it. Okay. You got a situation here where it didn't just affect Todd. It affected his neighbors. It affected his family. It affected his outlook as far as what other people are going to think of him. Regardless if it's true or not, there's going to be people that say, I knew he was doing something sneaky in there. Right. They're going to just assume it.
Yeah.
And that is wrong.
It is. It's very wrong. And whoever did this, they are looking at some hefty charges. The situation with the video game where the guy was swatted and died on his front porch, the person that was that started that got 20 years in prison.
Yeah,
the gamer guy didn't get killed. He survived it. The gamer guy survived. He didn't get killed.
No.
There was another
This is a different situation. This wasn't the video gamer on YouTube that got swatted. Okay. This is another gentleman who was at home. He got into, it was, what was the name of the video? It was a video game they were playing online.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of, because I don't play video games, so I
don't either.
Very lost when it comes to video games. But yeah, he all he did was walk out on his porch to answer, because he answered the door, and he was shot because they told him to throw his hand or put his hands up, and he was like all sorts of confused, and they thought he was reaching for a weapon. That guy there, the two guys that were involved, one of them got 20 years in prison. He was just sentenced.
Well,
that's not enough.
Because the police have to take it serious, and you know they have to take.
They have to. That's their job.
And they
said, you know, because there's, you know, like in our area, we have a daycare, and not that far from here, not that far at all from here, you know, and it's ridiculous how people think that, you know, some dispute that happens on YouTube or social media, it's okay for them. They think it's okay to do this, and they think it's funny, and it's not, because there are a lot of families on YouTube, and their children have, you know, severe autism, you know, mental things that are going on with them, and that kind of stuff will traumatize them. And these people think that it's okay to do this. Well, now they're starting to crack down on it, and I'm glad they are, because nobody ever should have to go through this at all.
And you know, that's one thing that I have told family members. If you are dabbling in things that I don't agree with, don't have people come to my house. Don't have people bringing to my house if they're dabbling in things they're not supposed to. We don't want our doors kicked in. These doors have been the same doors since 1914. And, you know, if somebody reports you for drug use and somebody in the car has been seen coming to your house, they will tear your house up. They will toss your house looking for what they want. If they don't care, I mean, that's why I done cracked down on, I just speak my mind and say, nope, you know, if you don't have a way to get here, then, you know, I don't want people like that at the house. And I am accepting of people, you guys, don't get me wrong. But if you're not trying to do better and, you know, you're running the streets that way, I've got to know that I'm safe. I've got to know that, you know, I'm not going to have my doors kicked in, is what I'm trying to say. Because I have worked front and backwards with people, you know, and to help them deal with their addictions and such as that. And I'm fine, you know, if you're trying, but I'm trying to make sense of it. Does it make sense of how I'm trying to explain it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the thing, like in our small town, I mean, and I know the drug problem is everywhere. It's everywhere, you know, but from my experience in my town, you know, it's horrible. And we really don't associate with hardly anybody in this town. For the simple fact is we do not want to get caught up in something that we are not involved in. And we had made a friend and we actually had to cut ties with them, completely cut ties with them here in town. They actually live outside of town now. But he sent somebody to our house at 12 o'clock at night, pounding on our door. So Tommy got up and he answered the door. He was prepared. He answered the door. And the guy goes like this with his phone. Didn't say anything to us. This guy just hands Tommy the phone. Tommy's like, what in the is going on? I censored myself. And he's like, hello? And he went off on this guy, our so-called friend. He's like, you don't send people. I mean, this guy was disgusting. He had a radio truck. I mean, he looked like he used. And Tommy's like, we're done. He's like, you ever send anybody to my house again, especially at night, at this time of night, you will regret it. He's like, our friendship is over. He's like, I don't want these nasty people at my house. And I warned you about this, these people that you have on your property, living on your property. He's like, we're done. He's like, well, I just had brain surgery. He's like, I don't care what the reason is. He's like, you don't send people like that to my house. No, we are not going to get into this. And we haven't talked to him since.
Did the guy say why he even sent them?
Yeah, because he couldn't get a hold of us to let us know he had brain surgery, which he didn't have brain surgery. He didn't have brain surgery. But that's what his excuse was. And I'm just
He's gone. His brain is already fried.
And we were like, done. Nope. So we have one friend that comes over almost every day, and he's mixed up in some stuff. And so, you know, Tommy tries to help him get through this court thing that he's dealing with, which I think, Darlene, you've met him. And then we have Brooke, who is like our adopted daughter, and she lives outside of town, but we don't associate with anybody in town. In town, nope. Nope, it's not happening, you know, because we're just not going to deal with that. And
they will watch you. They will watch everybody in your family and then some if they're looking to get somebody. And they will burn you to get to the big guy easy. I know, been there, understood it. worked for that side for a while. Understand that business. It's not a pretty one.
No,
Being
it's
a
not.
musician, you see it all. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I say, and I told Casey yesterday. I told Casey this yesterday, even before. I don't know, Geanna. I'm sure Casey called you, but he had a friend to commit suicide. Somebody he knew back when he was going to their church. The young man, his dad was a preacher, pastor, and his mom played the piano.
Wow.
So Casey was real upset last night. But I was telling him yesterday. I said, son, God is really out there pushing his spirit even more. I said, because we can't give up on our end on doing good because, there's so much bad out there. And I said, we have to stay prayed up. Yes. Yes, it was a very hard thing, Geanna. For him last night. But, I kind of felt like yesterday something was going to be, it was just an off day yesterday.
Yes,
So
it was.
When
Very bad yesterday.
Good morning, babe. When I sat in here with Casey last night, I wasn't shocked that something happened, but when he woke me up, tell her back good morning.
Morning, Mr. Casey. Love you.
Casey, good morning to you. Good morning to Casey. Good morning to you. I love you, Casey.
I love y'all.
But yeah, I just had a feeling that when Casey was standing at my bed, I really wasn't sure, what had happened, and it scared me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel for the young man that did it, and I feel for the family.
For sure.
Good
morning to Myra. Good morning to you. Good morning to Myra. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Myra. But we live in a world that is so much despair being, and it's all biblical. It says in the last days, not only will the Spirit be poured out, God will pour out his Spirit to reach more people, but also there will be more evil out there.
Right.
So you have to try to stay balanced. And it's hard. It's easy to say those words. It's easy to say, well, stay prayed up, stay balanced. But, when it happens in your family or happens to you close by, it's words go out. Words, you don't think of words that you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Because it hits too close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Pat. Have a good day.
See you later, Pat. Thanks for
Bye, Pat.
AKA Charlie, be good.
Yes, Pat.
I saw in chat that Memphis Matt and he else was that you, Traci, that said that you have family in the law enforcement?
Yes.
My aunt is actually a sheriff.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep, she was actually the first female sheriff in her county and first sheriff to ride horseback and something else. I can't remember everything, but my aunt is wickedly awesome.
Yeah, my nephew works for a local police department, and my son, my youngest, my baby, he actually volunteers for the county police department where the county where we live for the traffic squad. So he actually goes out and works in a uniform, in a police uniform for free because he loves that type of work.
Yeah, we have some program here where you go through a course. It's so many weeks long, and then
he did an academy, and then then he was able to do that.
Yeah, well, and the thing is I can't remember the name of the program. They started it last year, and it was only like a 6 or 8 week program, and it's to help the police department without being a police officer.
Right. That's what my son, he did.
Like
My
a
son did
citizens
like
reserve.
a month, like
Yeah.
a 6 month, 6 month academy. And then he graduated from the academy, and they call it the traffic squad, but he is a member of the traffic squad. So when he goes out and works at like the county fair or little town festivals, or he actually goes out on patrol with actual deputies, he can do everything that the deputy does, except arrest somebody without an actual deputy with him.
Okay.
If he makes an arrest, there has to be a deputy that's going to actually sign the paperwork.
Okay, so like a citizen arrest type thing if you want if you want to arrest
Right.
someone. Yeah, see, we used to have a Good Samaritan law here or something along that lines, and now you're scared to stop and try to help somebody for fear that you're going to be charged with something in our area.
Yeah. The Memphis Matt said he started out working for $1 a year. That's awesome, Matt. But yeah, my son is in like, it is kind of like a reserve. Some areas call it reserve, but they call it the traffic squad here. And he also works once a week. He does chores at the barn for the mounted division for the county also, because he's part of that group also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I love that he gets to do that because he really loves it, and his day job is very economically better for him than a police officer, quite frankly, but he gets to do the job that's really on his heart, and that's a police officer job, but he does it on a volunteer basis. I just worry sometimes when he's out.
Well,
It's
yeah.
easier now that he doesn't live here, so that I'm not waiting for him to come home in the morning, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I can completely relate because my aunt actually had a situation where we almost lost her while she was working. And it was the scariest thing in the whole wide world. And one of the people in the car, if it wasn't for that girl in the car, my aunt wouldn't be here. You know, and so I worry and pray for my aunt every morning, every night.
Yeah.
Being a police officer is very dangerous. You know, my dad, I thought being a fireman was dangerous, and it's very dangerous. You know,
It is.
the fire department. My brother, since he was 2 years old, wanted to be a fireman. He is now almost 30 years old, and he fulfilled his dream. He is a fireman. He's working to be a fire chief like our dad was. He's now retired. Our father is now retired. But, you know, I always worried about my dad, never realizing that I should have worried about my aunt growing up. My aunt's in a different state than I am, so I never really, put two and two together.
Right.
But now with everything that's going on in the world, you know, or I should say, in the United States, you have to worry about police officers, EMS, firemen, and it's not even from the actual.
I've got a son that does volunteer police work, plus he carries a weapon for his day job, so he looks like an undercover police officer during the day. And then my nephew is a police officer, and my other son is an EMT. So yeah, I got it like every direction. So it's like, what in the world?
Yeah, the Memphis Matt said, Pixie, it's a mutual respect. I couldn't do a fireman's job. And my dad used to say that all the time. I could never be a police officer.
Yeah.
My brother, my youngest brother, Michael, he's on the fire department where we grew up. And he wanted to, his biggest thing, he wanted to be a fireman, but he also wanted to be an EMT. He also wanted to be a cop. Like, he wanted to do it all. And we had a friend that was a police officer and a fireman.
Yeah, they have some of those departments here in Michigan where they're just called like public service department, where they do both.
Yeah, so I grew up with, like, my aunts and uncles were firemen because all our family lived in a different state. The police department, they knew all of us. I couldn't do anything without my dad knowing. I mean, it was a very tight knit family, and the police department and the fire department were connected, so they were in the same building. And
it's like that here too.
Yeah, I think it's a small town thing.
Yeah.
Where they're both connected. Like, I know we just got a new fire department built across the street from us, which I'm so stoked about. I love the fact that there's a fire department right outside my window when I look.
Let your insurance company know it will save you money.
Yeah, right? But our neighbors were not happy.
Yeah.
They were not happy. Oh, we're going to hear sirens all the time. Well, I look at it this way. If my house catches on fire, the fire department's right there.
Yep.
It's right there. My house will be fine, But
I didn't realize until
Memphis Matt's like, man, why didn't y'all tell me we were going to talk about this? I would have loved to be a panelist on this topic, to offer an opinion.
Well, Matt, I tell you what. Tomorrow,
where it's going to go.
Yeah, that's why, when I did this last night, I thought, I ain't even going to put a pattern, because I just have a feeling that we don't know what it's going to be. Tomorrow, it will be open, and I'll be doing it from Casey's computer, my son, because this computer won't. If I try to do more than 4, it's going to act crazy. So tomorrow I can have more on, and I would love for you to come back and come on the panel with us. Now, it's going to be Crazy Hat Day. You could wear your policeman hat or whatever hat you want to wear, and come back.
I can go into Just Chat and let Matt have my space, because I'm getting ready to go to the doctor anyway. So why don't I let Matt do that?
Well, the thing of it is, Deb, because I kind of said on, certain days I would do the man, have men on.
Okay, I didn't know that. I apologize.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You don't.
We were in the middle of your hospitalization and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed all the fireworks again. I never get to know nothing. Nobody keeps the old lady.
Dang it all.
Well, it kind of came about that I had to get things in a order, which is, all right. If you watch this show, you're like, but darling, your show doesn't have an order. Not really. You get off topic.
There's a short video about it, Debbie.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
There's a short video about it on Darlene's channel.
Okay, I'll just watch that. That will save you from having to redo it and to put yourself in a position that probably wouldn't be a good one right now.
The Matt came in. It started on a Wednesday, and Matt came in, and I did it as Christian Womanhood, and to come up with your favorite women of the Bible. Matt gave so much. He said, "Am I in the wrong chat? Is this just for women?" I said, "No, the chat's not just for women." But he gave so much good information, and I was talking last night, Matt, about you. I told my husband, I said, you never think about what Eve went through. I said, can you imagine not only giving birth for the first time, because look, we do our Grey's Anatomy, but I said, not only giving birth for the first time, and, but to have 2 sons and one kill another one. And I said, so what heartbreak, that was. So sometimes we don't think about stuff like that. But yeah, so we are top topicless sometimes. Look at man. So yeah, I mean, I had to, put God back into it, and I don't know. It's just,
Just
I
was the direction you were feeling led.
yeah,
Okay,
and
that's fair.
I have felt more free again, but yeah, I miss my Derek laughing his tail off. But hey, he'll be on Friday, and I think he needed a break too.
Mhm.
Derek needed a break
He is doing way too much. Way too much.
because once somebody hits their 1,000, then you're required to do a lot more, and if you're already your health is not great, then you are struggling to try to do what you feel like you have to for YouTube. But you have to understand, like, if Tracy bobbed out, if she just said, I'm gonna go lay down, I understand, because each of us on here, it felt a little bit better when I got up to go in there and get my blanket off the bed for my puppy. I'm giving her my scratchy blanket. It felt better to walk through the house and try to stretch my back out and then come back in here. But yeah, we all have medical issues. And I've even told, and there might be people that watch that don't come on chat, because I know somebody that I said, well, look, when you're lonely, and you feel like nobody else understands, and they suffered with PTSD and they were in the military, and they're retired military, even though he's relatively younger. And he's lonely. And I told him, I said, look, you don't have to be in the chat or on a panel. Just watch. And I talked to him quite a bit online. And I told him, I said, there are a lot of people out there just like you.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
and there's women with PTSD. That's not just, people didn't realize that was a thing until they started talking about it, with military. But PTSD could be from your childhood, or it can be from a marriage. And hey, there's men out there that get abused, mentally, physically abused by women, but people don't want to take a man as serious as being abused, or men don't talk about it. So we have issues we don't talk about. But PTSD is something very real. And I told him, I said, just watch, when the kids are in school and you just don't feel like you have anybody to talk to, just come in and watch,
Mhm.
Because we're all suffering not only with our pain, but that brings on other things.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to head out. I do apologize. There's something going on with Mr. Pickles. He's like really agitated for some reason. So I need to get him calmed down. He keeps squawking.
That's because he hears and sees this one, and it's mating time, girl. It's called hormonal.
Oh,
Is that what it is?
Yep. Birds get hormonal and they get very aggressive. This one's nipped at me 3 times since he sat on my shoulder.
well, he hasn't nipped or anything, but he's like doing this weird squawking that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. It's hormonal.
Okay. Yeah,
He's okay.
he doesn't do that.
They have 2 hormonal periods throughout the year. This is one of them. And I know because this one will bite me and love me all in the same breath.
Okay.
Won't you?
Yeah, he won't come near me, but he won't bite me either. But he was making that squawking.
Matt, God will get our attention, and we never know. Oh, yeah, veterans every 22 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
God gave him the ability to get all up in my zip code hope to help others. And on art therapy, Matt, come on during art therapy.
Yeah, definitely.
When I get my good setup in the other room where all of my supplies are. I mean, I had a mess in here yesterday, and Casey is OCD, so when I knocked something over, everything went everywhere. And I got it up, but I told him, I said, I've got to take all my supplies back in there where I have a place. But I asked about PTSD after, and this is a small thing, but when I slipped on my deck, and it was now a couple years ago, I think, I slipped on my deck, and when I did, I'm like, the first thought was, oh my gosh, what did I do now? Because I was falling quite a bit. It's like I couldn't even walk outside without falling. And I raised up on the elbow, and I'm like, and I touched myself and had blood on me. And I'm like, oh man, what did I do? And I got to looking at my arm. There's blood on my arm, blood on my elbow, and I couldn't figure out. And when I touched the back of my head, all I could do was scream. Because I had a handful of blood, and I screamed, and Casey jumped up. He ran out there, and my husband ran out there, and I had to have 8 staples to the back of my head. Well, all I could do was and it hurt the first time I ever had staples.
Oh.
And they don't do anything. They don't do anything. And in fact, I had to have a CT before they put the staples in.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Someone's zip code. Oh, I thought you meant you're all up in my zip code. I thought you meant like all up in the. Oh, Myra. No, Myra. He means like
all up in your business.
Yeah, like on our channel. Like our family. We're here and we have our own zip code because you're in our house. So that's what he meant. So I kept, hearing in my head. It took me 2 months to go to that deck, to the ramp, and I could not stop hearing myself screaming in my head, screaming and all that blood, because they say head wounds bleed.
They bleed easy, yes.
And they bleed a lot.
Yeah, so I contacted the person and I said, I have a question, and I said, I feel really stupid asking a veteran that has PTSD. I said, but I keep hearing myself screaming in my head. And I said, it just freaks me out. And I don't know how to, tell my husband. I keep having, hearing myself screaming. And I said, I can't go look at where I was. And of course, the blood was soaked into the wood. Mm-hmm. And of all things, that wood grew a fungus, and we had to replace those 2 boards. So, but he told me, he said, yeah, he said, that's what PTSD is like. Mm-hmm. And, for me, luckily, it went away. But you have PTSD about so many different things in your life, and only, God can soothe the nerves. But, you might still have that reoccurring. But, Matt, you'll be able to help somebody else. And I would love for you to come on tomorrow. Mm-hmm. On Tuesday, because
Darlene, I need to bow out. I got to get up and move and go in a different direction, a different position, do something.
Yeah,
I love you. I will see you.
Much love.
Bye, Tracy.
I love you. I love you all in the chat. I love you all. I gotta get up and move.
Yeah, and we won't have porch church. Casey was up all night
with his thing. Okay, I understand.
But I love you. So, yeah, Traci, Matt, I know you've been on here before. Traci has severe, I forget the name of it, in her one of her legs. And she talks about it. If you go to the channel, she talks about it. And I had never heard the term of that pain until I was at my rheumatoid doctor. And I was watching this little video while you wait on them, and it was telling the different degrees of pain. And it talked about osteo pain, rheumatoid pain. No, it's not, Geanna. I think she heard it somehow, and it's given her problems ever since. But at the very end, the highest rate of pain is what she has, and I just can't think of the name of it. There's not a whole lot they can do for it, and it's one of those things. Like they told my brother, you have to live with the pain, and that's easy. Yeah. And when you first hear doctors say, well, you've got to live with that pain, your first thought is, I can't. I mean, I don't understand what you're talking about. No, it's more than sciatic. I suffer with that. Geanna suffers with that. No, it's worse than sciatic pain. It is much worse than sciatic pain.
One of the things that I challenge a doctor with, just like I did when I went to the hospital this last time, you're telling me by taking this medication, it will take the water down off my heart. What's causing that to start there in the first place, guys? Let's solve the problem, not put a Band-Aid on it. I want a solving problem. I don't want the other. And what was funny is that they said, well, we'll solve the problem. No, you told me there's a hormonal imbalance. How do we correct that hormonal imbalance to where this doesn't occur?
Because, Debbie, there's so much that they don't really know.
Well, not only that, but they're just taught how to Band-Aid the situation.
Yeah.
Not how to solve the problem. And that's where I get angry.
It is
upsetting.
Myra, if you go to Traci, if you'll go, and I always put everybody's how to go to their channels in the description, just like I have yours, Debbie, in my description.
Oh, thank you, honey.
I keep it in there.
Thank you so much.
But Myra, if you go, you can watch some of Traci's videos about her pain, and there's two different. Now, she had a profile, and then she started another profile. So both of hers are in there. And she tells you about her pain. Yeah, I'm really mad. I will be very, very happy to have you on Tuesday. Very much. Because that is the reason, and that was Derek come up with art therapy, which is nascarman, art therapy Tuesdays, because that's when he was going to do his art therapy for his disability. So we started doing that, and we have some people that do with markers, like
I already told her.
Huh?
I was talking to my husband. I'm so sorry.
I thought it was me. But yeah, we have some people that do the color sheets, and Traci, oh my gosh, I love her. She has steampunk ones. Ricardo he has his markers that he does art with. And I have several things that's supposed to be coming to me from Derek that he has done. So we just kind of, it's therapy. And even, you come on and talk, and, even as you could be talking as we're doing. Okay. But I mean, I don't know how, Matt, because I go through Facebook, I go through Messenger to talk to people. So if you don't have Facebook and you don't have Messenger, I would love to talk off of here. but the only way I would know how to do it is to
Maybe do a private stream.
Yeah, but in order to do that, you have to be able to send out the link or go live and send out the link.
Yeah, you can send the link to his email address, which I did see that I believe he put that in chat. Just send the link to his email and he'll be able to pop in. That way you can do a private or an unlisted.
Wait, oh, no. All right, let me see. Now, Myra, is that yours? Well, Matt, if you want to do your email real quick, or right before I go off, I can let you join the panel, and then you join the panel, then I can end the broadcast.
Mom, I got it. I will send it to you.
Oh, you got it?
I have it. I got it out of his off the chat, and I'm sending it to you right now and on Facebook, so you have it.
Okay.
And then you can disable that message that he just sent you, so not everybody has his stuff real quick.
Yes, I'm trying to find it because
I got it.
Oh, okay. Did you erase it for me?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
I'm sure he seems like the type of person that, you know, if you have questions or whatever, that, you know, you can just email him, but for his protection with outside of everything. But I sent it to you on Facebook in private message. So
okay.
I can do more than one thing on my computer now, so I'm super stoked.
I'm so glad. And you know what? I'm going to be over the moon because God's going to bless me and I'm going to be able to go to different rooms with this, because I loved the one thing about Hangouts. For some reason, that my computer was able to do that off Wi-Fi, and I was able, oh my gosh, we had 8 people one time, Destiny, and then we got the trolls and I had to pull it down. That hurt my heart.
Yeah, that was pretty hard. Me, Tommy, and Derek were trying to get the trolls out there as fast as we could. And then once the live stream, and Darlene was, Mom was trying to shut that stream down and it wasn't working. Her computer wouldn't let her do it. So we were trying to get them all. And I mean, me, Derek, and Tommy got into it with the trolls that were still on there after the live was over. And yeah, I'm sure that didn't make them very happy, but we didn't care. I mean, you don't do that to people. You just don't do that to people. And the things that it was awful. It was awful. It was awful.
And I tried to edit. I tried to get Casey edit, and I mean, we don't know how to edit, so it ended up just what we edited. It just showed the awful part, so I just took it down. But it was such a great day. I mean, we had all these people. We had so much fun, and I mean, we've had fun since then. But right now, with this streaming coming out of my computer, I just can't, it doesn't do well with too many. But when I get my blessing and I get a good system and can take it into the other room, and even I want a laptop so I can still do kitchen. My kitchen is for, I don't know, kitchen coffee talk is just different than the art part. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just drinking coffee. You're at my kitchen table. And one day you guys are going to get to see Tommy and Destiny at my kitchen table for real.
Yep.
For real, you guys. Because that is what Tommy said. And one day we're going to have that. And I will be over the moon.
Oh, yes.
Over the moon.
I'm excited. Rebecca is actually coming next weekend. She's she's
first time
here. What's that?
First time ever?
Yeah, first time ever. Rebecca Kreuter will be coming to our house.
I'm so jealous.
She'll be staying the weekend with us. I'm super stoked.
I know you are, and I'm so jealous. Well, that's okay. Geanna comes to my place all the time.
I know, right?
In April, and you guys see Bougie Bear, but sometimes it's coffee maker. So, look, tell me something. What the heck is this, Destiny? Is this some kind of belt? What the heck is
Yeah,
this?
Wait, no, I think that's a necklace. Actually,
Wait,
oh,
It looks like a belt to me.
but see that
oh, yeah, it could be a belt or a necklace, or does it have a clip somewhere?
yeah.
That's a pretty heavy duty clasp. Yeah.
Yeah, that could very well be a belt, but I would wear it as a necklace.
Girl, do you know how heavy that is for me to hold up? This is probably 3 pounds or more of something.
Yeah, I would wear it as a necklace.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it would fit. Well, you gotta,
It's too heavy. It falls. It slides down. Look, I still haven't had Tommy show the belt that you guys won from auction.
Oh yeah, from Rebecca. Yeah, maybe we can get Rebecca to have him put it on.
Anna Morris says a purse. Myra, I think for belly dance.
You know, honestly, it is such a cool belt. No, he's singing. Or it's such a cool.
Here's mine.
Okay. Yes. That
I'll mute.
If Destiny has time, because we're not going to do Porch Church, I would do that. Anamora is too. I mean, they do have First Farms, but this is long. He hears me. Hey, boy. He hears me. Pickles.
He sounds like an alarm.
He's doing banjos from Deliverance.
The bird, they'll try to, Myra.
He's happy.
Usually now he's doing it longer and longer and longer.
I will have to upload, like, just do another walkthrough to show my jewelry, and then upload the video from my phone on my phone, and then to show my workroom. I haven't shown it in a while. Casey, he got it so pretty, and you know, anytime you take out supplies, bring supplies back, you take them back. It's a working thing. But I guess at 11 o'clock, it's going on 11. We will shut down, and I will, I guess, take my puppy, let her go to the bathroom, and that'll give me some walking around the room. And that, it would do me good. I'd love to meet you. What about Destiny? Are you okay to do a private? Okay. Well, you guys, I love you.
Yeah, that's cool. Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
Come on, Debbie, you can do it now. Oh,
much love, everybody. Much love.
Love you. And Matt, give us about, say, 11:15, and we will send you the link. Love you guys.
I'm going to the doctors, y'all. Wish me good.
Good luck.
Bye, honey. Bye, both of you beautiful women.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss.